Well, good evening everyone and welcome to this evening's webinar, a short 10-15 minute webinar to introduce you to socialhire.com, my new venture. Many of you will know me from Top Consultant, management consultancy niche careers website. Socialhire.com is something totally different. It's a social network where candidates can discreetly discuss careers with the world's leading employers and recruiters, and all of that for free. And I've had lots of interactions over the last months as we've been setting this up with people asking me to try and explain exactly what this does, how it's different, and in a nutshell, what is it. And I think the explanation that has resonated the most with people is to think of this as LinkedIn for free and to think of it as an extremely scaled down version of LinkedIn where the only objective of the site is to help great candidates have career conversations with great recruiters. And so that is really the overriding goal of the site. And what I'm going to talk you through this evening very briefly is how the site functions and how you can set up a candidate profile on the site. And similarly, if you're a recruiter, how you can go about setting up a recruiter profile as well. So let me take you straight into the site. So this is socialhire.com. If you've been to the homepage, you'll have seen this already. And the area that we're going to be focusing on this evening is just down here, the candidates get started box and the recruiters get started box. And in a few moments, I'll take you through that. But what I want to do first of all is just explain how the site works. So candidates on the site can set up a profile for themselves. That can be identifying exactly who they are and linking to all their other media, so their LinkedIn profile, their Twitter profile, their work on their company website, anything they want to point recruiters to. Or they may set up an anonymous profile. That's to say that they hide who their real identity is. They say, you know, I'm McKinsey Telecoms expert or I'm online marketing guru, whatever it may be. And they can set up their profile that way so that recruiters engage with them without the candidate actually having had to reveal exactly who they are and what it is that they're looking to do. So let's just look at things from a recruiter perspective first of all, just to give you a good understanding of how this would work. If I go through here to profile search as a recruiter, what you're going to see here is the site is powered by Google Custom Search. So that's to say you're all familiar with using Google Search. You're all familiar with the concept of keyword optimization and making sure that the things that you publish contain relevant keywords. And that's exactly the way that things work here on Social Hire. So let's say, for example, that we're looking for people in the industry that I know best, that's, say, consulting. A recruiter might do a search here for people whose profiles contain the word consulting, and then very simply they're going to have here a list of all the candidates and all the recruiters who match that criteria. And you can click through on those and you're able to contact any one of these people instantly and for free. So let me just bring up one of those profiles. So here, for example, we're able to immediately choose to follow Nadine over at CSC, and as a registered member on the site I'm able to choose to follow that individual and I'm able to choose to send them a private message. If I send message there, it's the equivalent of a LinkedIn in-mail, so I'm sending a message directly to that person, only visible to myself and to them. If I choose to follow them, what will happen then up in the My Updates section of the site here, all the content that this particular individual chooses to post to the site, all the articles they comment on and so forth, everything they publish visibly on the Social Hire site will appear in My Updates. What that means for you as candidates is you're able to tailor the site to be exactly what you want it to be. So on this call we might have people who want to go down a marketing career in the States. We might have people who want to pursue a consulting career in Australia. We might have people interested in an online media career in Asia. Every single one of you can tailor the site to deliver that exactly for yourselves. because by choosing to follow people here, as we then go into the My Updates section of the site, everything that the people you've chosen to follow is going to appear there. And you can therefore prioritize who are the best recruiters, who are the best employers that you've had interactions with, and who are those who've put you off, who you're no longer interested in having any dealings with. And by following and unfollowing people in that way, you can then just tailor the site in that way for yourselves. Now you can see here, you're quite able to add other links to your other profiles and your other media. So it's not a big job here to get set up on the site. You don't need to go through a big long-winded process of creating a massive long profile and replicating things that you've already done on other sites. All we're looking to do here is to include enough information within the profile section here that we're going to show up in keyword searches that recruiters and employers may be conducting on the site. So without further ado, let's take a look at that, and let me take you over to a version here where I'm not signed in on the site. And what we're going to do, we're going to create a new account. So if I go over to the top right hand side of the screen here, you can see two options, log in and sign up, and this is where you would come to log in future. And if you go down here, if you're a recruiter, you'd click the Get Started button on Recruiters, and that's going to take you through to a list of tips and insights of how to get the most out of the site. Similarly, if you're a candidate, click the Get Started button, and that's going to take you through to a similar set of tips and insights for candidates. I'm going to go through the candidate profile. I think most people on the call here are candidates, so let me do that for you. And what's it going to allow you to do? Well, it's going to allow you to, as we've talked about, take control of your next career move, create an anonymous profile if you desire, or openly reveal who you are, engage with recruiters and employers to have conversations about openings there might be within their businesses or within their clients' organizations that may never get advertised, and then choose which recruiters' content you would like to follow. So if there are particular individuals on the site who you're finding particularly helpful or whose jobs look exactly like the types of jobs you would be interested in, then you would choose to follow them. But let's go ahead here and click to create an account now. What's going to happen then, a pop-up window is going to appear, and you can choose to sign in with an existing Facebook profile or an existing Twitter profile. Obviously, if you do those things, you are then going to be revealing who you are publicly. And at the moment, about 50% of candidates on Social Hire are choosing that they want to remain anonymous. So I leave that entirely at your discretion. But what we're going to put in here, we're going to put in our full name. That's going to convert into a username. Now, the full name you're able to change at any point on the site. You can change that from being anonymous to being not anonymous, but your username will always remain with you, and indeed will be your web link, your URL on the site. So if you think you're going to want to remain anonymous, then I would suggest entering your full name here as something that's going to maintain that anonymity. And you can change that at a later date. You can come back to that, and that's fine. And then we're going to insert an email address here. All accounts on Social Hire have to be validated, so we know that no spoof accounts are being set up on the site. Anyone without that email validation won't have an active account on the site. So you know that anyone you come into contact with on the site, we know who they are, even if they are remaining anonymous on the site. But let's plug in our email address there and choose yourselves a password, and then click sign up. You'll then be presented with the option of adding a profile picture to your profile page. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to leave it blank. You're able to change that setting at a later stage, so don't feel you have to do that right away. And then click on next step. And what you'll see then is a message that your account has been created and that an email has been sent through to you, and that is pretty much instantaneous. So if you go to your email address, you'll then be able to check that that's come through okay, click the activation link, and your account will then be up and running on the site. Now, if I take you back into the Candidates Get Started page, you'll see a whole series of tips here on the things that you want to do next. And you're going to want to write your candidate profile. You're going to want to join career interest groups so that other individuals and recruiters can see the types of careers you're interested in. And then you're going to want to search for employers and recruiters who interest you and to start following people. Optionally, you can then choose to add a CV or resume, which will be publicly visible on the site and therefore searchable. Now, let me just go back over to the account that I already have created here. So this is me logged in on my main account, and what I can see here is at the top right here, the facility to edit my profile, change my account settings, change the photo that's assigned on my account, and log out. So if we go first of all to edit profile, you'll see here you've just got a short area where you can insert some information about yourselves, and this is what we saw on that CSC profile. It's the first information that people will see when they're coming through onto your profile page, and so you want to make sure that from that people can understand that you are a recruiter or that you're a candidate, whereabouts you're based, so that people keyword searching for London or Sydney or whatever are going to turn up your result. You want to give an idea of the industries you've worked in, your specialisms, essentially what is a recruiter or an employer going to keyword search for in your particular industry. So you want to make sure that your profile contains some of those things, and then you can add links to all sorts of other media. So you can add links to your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, and equally through to your own company website. So if you're a recruiter or an employer, you can add links through there to various pages, and those will all appear as clickable links on your profile. So that really should only take you a couple of minutes. It's really a question of copying and pasting and just tweaking a little bit the summary that you have in your CV or on your LinkedIn profile, and that is then searchable almost immediately on the site by employers and recruiters who are visiting the site. You'll see also up here you can choose to change your photo, so that's how you go about changing the photo, and within your account settings you can choose to change the email address that you have logged, change your password, and enable or disable email notifications. So as candidates are choosing to, for example, follow a recruiter, the recruiter will receive through a notification that a certain candidate has chosen to follow them with a link to their profile. So you can see that by being a proactive candidate who actually chooses to follow recruiters in your industry, you're actually going to start raising your awareness levels with those recruiters and employers. And obviously if they're interested in you, right from that page, they're then able to click to send you a message and to follow you back if they want to see the activity that you're conducting on the site. You'll also have up here 3 other tabs. Notifications will be advising you of people who've chosen to follow you. You'll have that as an email alert if you've chosen to accept email alerts. Messages will be your private messages that you've received on the site, and these will disappear each time you click on them to acknowledge that you've seen all of those messages or notifications. Then those will disappear. So rather embarrassingly, there's 516 notifications I've yet to look at on my particular profile here. Last but not least, you have the facility to add new blog posts, and as you're reading the candidate tips or you're reading the recruiter tips for getting set up on the site, what you'll see is you're able to create content here and then choose to load that to a variety of sectors. So if you're a candidate, you can add information to your profile page, and you can add a CV or resume which will then appear within the recruiter searches that are conducted on the site. This information is all publicly available and indexed by Google and therefore visible on Google and visible on Social Hire. So we do recommend to candidates to think carefully about the email address you want to give away, if any, and whether or not you want to use your real name and your address and your contact number. The way that a lot of candidates are using the site is to provide an anonymized CV, and then recruiters can actually contact you directly through the site to request a time to talk and to swap numbers and contact details. If you're a recruiter on the site, you'll see you're also able to upload jobs content, and that will appear within the jobs tabs on the site. And this is all free, so there's no cost to you to doing this. You can upload social recruiting advice, so if you've seen articles out there about how other employers and recruiters are using social media to find candidates, you can share that with the audience. Similarly, you can provide career and interview advice and market updates. So if you're a recruitment firm who specialises in a particular sector and you have a salary survey or you have a market update on your particular sector, you can publish this here for free. And once you've done that, let me just click through on one of those. So here's an article, for example, that I posted just earlier today. And from within here, you can choose to share that article with your LinkedIn groups, with your Google Plus network, with Facebook, Twitter and Pinterest, and actually by hovering over here with pretty much every other social media site you might choose to mention. So that gives you, I hope, a good understanding of how the site works. As a candidate, you can search through and look at the jobs that our members have posted on the site. If there are particular jobs that capture your interest, you can choose to follow that recruiter, and then their content will then appear within the My Updates section. So that allows you to have that tailored aspect. Similarly, you can choose to join career interest groups. So if I click on that, this is similar to LinkedIn groups, but they're just a set of predetermined industry groups that we've set up to allow you to indicate to recruiters and employers which industries you're interested in. So again, it's helping them to find suitable candidates to follow and helping you to find suitable recruiters who may be able to help you. Coming soon, you'll see there, we're going to be adding instant messaging and instant video calling to the site. That again will be free, so that will allow you to have an immediate video call or audio call with employers and recruiters that interest you. So that's an overview of the site. If I just bring you back to the slide deck here, is this a replacement for LinkedIn? Is this intended to be a replacement for LinkedIn? Absolutely not. The intention here is to provide something that's really scaled down and that is purely focused on starting conversations between employers and recruiters and great candidates. Alongside that, you're going to want to have your LinkedIn profile. You're going to want to have all your recommendations, jobs being sent to you as referrals through your network and so on. That's one of the big differences with social hire. On social hire, you don't have to invest months building up a network. Anyone who is a member on the site can contact anyone else who is a member on the site. But we do have a LinkedIn group there, Ask Me About Careers At. You're more than welcome to join that group. The aims of that group are exactly the same as the site. It's just to help recruiters and candidates to start having conversations with one another. So you'll see within that group representatives from different employers who are happy to answer questions that candidates may have, recruiters from recruitment agencies who are happy to help candidates in particular sectors. And similarly, we have an active Twitter account there at social_hire and a Facebook page, facebook.com/social hire. So through those, you should find that you're able to follow what we do, but also to engage proactively with recruiters and employers on the site. And just to give you an idea, the site was officially launched out of beta in the middle of April, and we already have dozens of fantastic corporate employers on the site, the likes of Twitter, of Britvic, of Accenture, of Deloitte, of CSC, tons of recruitment agents across the world specializing in all sorts of different niche areas, and loads of really great candidates. We're focusing on business professionals and executives, so this is very much our target market is to have that kind of audience on the site. So that's really all I wanted to share with you this evening. I'm going to throw things open to questions now. If there's any particular things that I can answer, I'd be delighted to do so.